Do you think anyone can be an entrepreneur, or is that a lie we tell people?
They can be an entrepreneur if they find what they're passionate about and they learn the tools to turn
Yep.
it into a business. Get really clear on why you're starting your business.
Tell us about yourself.
In the last 3 years specifically, I have been a men's life coach, helping men navigate life's transitions. That's something I like to call the gray zone.
So, what's stopping them then? Rob, welcome to the podcast. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Uh, Rob, to our listeners, do you mind giving a bit of to tell us about yourself? What are you doing? What is your business about? And how are
Yep.
you helping the community and your clients?
So I've been involved in the health and wellness space for over 10 years. I've done a variety of things. I've done personal trainer, I've done massage therapy, I've done network marketing, products, etc. In the last 3 years specifically, I have been a men's life coach, helping men navigate life's transitions, uncertainty, and something I like to call the gray zone, so to speak, the waiting room of reinvention. And so, yeah, and along with that, I've also written a book. So I'm an author
Yep,
as well. And yes, that's as simple as I can make it. I've been working with men for over 3 years now, within life coaching, of course.
perfect. So before life coaching, you have been doing a lot of roles, different roles, being a personal trainer, and you have gone through a lot of obstacles in your life as well. And I
Mm,
believe you must have hit a rock bottom at some point in your life, and that would have changed your the perception of how you see life. And that's how I believe that's why you become a coach and you're trying to help others as well.
mm.
The question I would like to start is, if someone wants to reform or someone wants to become the better of themselves, do they have to hit the rock bottom?
Not at all. It
No.
uh,
Okay.
it starts with a choice. It starts with a choice. And I think when people think rock bottom, some people need to hit rock bottom. Unfortunately, it has to get to that point, and not that it has to, but unfortunately, it just does get to that point. Right. But people don't need to hit rock bottom in order to make a decision, to make a transition in life, to make a shift in their life. It just comes to an awareness of understanding, am I happy in the life that I'm living right now? Am I happy with the people in my life? Am I happy with the environment I'm in? Am I happy with the choices? Right. So when you think about that and you analyze, you ask yourself the specific questions,
Hmm.
you can then make a decision with support if you need it. If not this, then what else? And so people can come in and some of the guys that I've worked with, they unfortunately they have let themselves get to that point where it gets so hard that they've contemplated suicide, and it's unfortunate that that has to happen. But you think even with an addiction, with alcoholics or drugs, some people
Hmm.
need to hit rock bottom when it comes to addiction, right?
Yep.
Whereas rock bottom for some people and outside of addiction might be standing on the ledge of a cliff or a building, right? And I don't want to be so extreme, but that is technically a rock
Yep.
bottom for some people. Hmm.
That's um that's interesting. So you coach men,
Hmm.
and this though started 3 years ago, I believe. This business, the one you've got right now. Why men?
Why men? It's a good question. So when obviously, I think when everyone starts coaching, when everyone starts in a industry of helping people, we want to help everyone.
Hmm.
I've always worked with people. I've coached. I've when I was personal training, I was working with both men and women.
Yep.
When I was massaging, I mainly massaged men, but I did massage women as well. With coaching, when I jumped in, we always talk about getting a niche,
Right.
and right,
Okay.
and so it's have I entertained the thought of working with women? Yes, I've got a large woman following on my social media, and I'm like, oh, I would just love to tap into that. But if I get really specific and really good at a key niche area,
Right.
people will have a better understanding, because if you do too many things, people are like, what is exactly is he does? Does he work with women?
Mm,
Does he work with men? Does he work with people, parents who are going through like a new child journey? Or is he working with teachers? Is he working with, right? So my specificity, there's the word, is working with men going through a transition in life. I work with men purely because I've been able to build a good rapport
Right. Okay.
and and there's yeah, I guess it would just be a good rapport. A lot of the
Right.
men I work with have an understanding, they have similar backgrounds. You know, most of the men I work with are older men. So there is a bit of an age gap, but I've been through enough in my life where I've got knowledge, I've been through some experiences, similar experiences that they may go through, but they're comfortable with me.
Well, thanks for that. Thanks for being upfront about it and
Mm.
transparent in sharing your insight. That's very interesting that you find it, you are able to build a good rapport and you're comfortable in coaching them. And that's the reason why I asked that question is because we have a lot of coaches right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot
Everyone's
of
a
coaches
coach.
right now. So the reason why I asked you men is I just wanted to drill down to this specific question where how do I differentiate between a good coach
Mm.
versus a great coach?
A good coach and a great coach. That's a good question.
You were thinking good coach versus a bad coach, right? That was the
Yeah,
question you
I was waiting for the bad coach, right? Good coach and a great coach. Cool. Think about that one.
It's all right. Look, take your time.
You
You
know, I
can
think
cut it.
people can. I think when there's people who will go through life and they live their life by what is shown up on the paper of certificates that they've achieved,
Mm,
right?
mm.
And that bases their worth and their professionalism is based off what's on the paper. Like, oh no, I've got the certificate that makes me qualified, right? Good coach. I think a great coach is someone who has lived experiences, has
Mm.
great rapport, can relate, can understand, can listen, and can ask the right questions to get to the core problem
Of
of
the
the
issue. Yep.
individual that they're issuing. Right. So, I've lived a lot of experiences in my life. That doesn't take away from, someone who hasn't always had a, so called easy life. So we want to call. But I think we live in a world where your value and your worth has been based off a piece of paper, right? And so when you think of, you can have someone who has all the certificates in the world and they got all the A's, but then you take someone else who has just lived life and you bring them in,
Mm.
they can do the exact same job, if not better, sometimes. Not always. So,
Yeah. It's I think it's that's a what it just struck me is the one who has lived life, they have a better understanding of how to face challenges
mm,
rather than one who has gone by the books and gone certificates. That's my perspective.
yeah,
It will find it a little bit hard to manage those life challenges thrown at them.
they've
That's
walked the walk.
that's my 2 cents. You
Right?
know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's absolutely right. It's like I've seen coaches where they're thinking about what question do I ask next,
Yeah.
right? They're not listening. They're like following the structure, so to
The
speak,
structure,
and
right?
there's a learning process, right? But like you said, it's a lived experience. We've gone through. We understand. We can empathize a lot easier rather than I'm just going to throw some questions at your way that I see. But I also think a great coach is someone who shows up with that desire
Mm.
and not just a paycheck.
Understand. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. The reason why I asked this question is I lost my dad during COVID lockdown. I wasn't able to see him. I did farewell through WhatsApp.
Yeah.
It was tough situation for me, and I was in a bad state after his loss, and I took help, and he was great. That person had the same qualities what he just mentioned. He's a registered doctor, and he was quite helpful for me to listen and empathize and give me some sort of um, some sort of process to follow to come out of it. So which did, and that's what this question came out for me, just to understand how what are your thoughts about that. But thanks for sharing that. Uh, so you mentioned, so people are stuck, right? They go by the qualifications, they go by the titles, they go by their their experience at work that defines them. You know what I mean? Some may be good at business, some may be good at the work. So my question is, do you think the 9 to 5 system is designed to keep people too tired to build a side hustle or a full-time business? What are your thoughts?
Ooh. Now I've been an entrepreneur for oh, uh, 13 years. I've worked for
Right.
myself, and it hasn't been easy.
Mm.
It has not been easy. It is an emotional roller coaster, right? Of uncertainty. And when I have danced with the idea of just go get a job. It will make yeah, a job, just go get one. It will just consistent paycheck, right?
Yep.
Blah 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 blah. But man, I am stubborn. I am stubborn. And I was like, no, I'm doing this on my own. I'll go back to your question. Do you think the 9 to 5 is designed to keep people? I think the world's changing.
It is.
The world is changing so rapidly where people are almost able to create time for that side hustle now within their
Mhm.
current job. Uh, and there's still people that walk around with "I'm too busy," but that's busy up here.
Oh, it's just a facade.
It is a facade, but
Just to,
I had a client or just earlier. He's like, "I am so overwhelmed. I'm exhausted. I'm doing this," and I'm like, "All right, so like everything's in your head, yeah?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, if we just laid it all out,
on a
right,
paper. Yeah.
and we looked at it, and then and I mean everything that's in your head that you think you need to be doing, and then we put in a priority list, right?" He's a teacher. It's end of school year. He is busy marketing, right? Like it's just known fact that end of school year is busy time with marketing stuff and
Yep.
getting assignments in. So he's got that. He's caring for his dad. He's doing all these things, but then he's like social life, hanging out with friends, doing all these other things. He's like, I got to do that too. I've got to squeeze all this stuff in. So I was like, there are going to be times in our life when we're just busy with priority things. And so when that time happens, we need to understand that that is busy time, which means social time might be on the sidelines for a while,
Yeah.
right? And
Yep.
so we just went through and we looked at simplifying it, looking at building a calendar. I'm like, "Do you have a calendar?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "It's all in my head." I was like, "So let's put a visual down on paper so when you look at it, it doesn't feel so overwhelming." So when I coming back to the whole busy, it's just because people are in their head. But when in reality, it's like, "Oh, I actually got a lot of time on my hands."
So you mentioned you've been entrepreneur for the last 10 plus years or 13
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
Yep. So you have done a lot of gigs before you became a coach.
yep.
So do you think anyone can be an entrepreneur, or is that a lie we tell people?
Yeah, I think anyone can become an entrepreneur.
Mm,
Some people value security, and that might keep them from being an entrepreneur. It depends on where your values lie and what's important for you and what you're wanting to create in your life. But I think anyone can become an entrepreneur if they find something that they're passionate about.
right.
Mm.
And
And
what do
they,
you think from your experience? Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, keep going.
yeah, and if so, they can be an entrepreneur if they find what they're passionate about and they learn the tools to turn
Yep.
it into a business, right?
Understand. The follow-up question from that question is, so what's stopping them then?
Fear,
Fear of judgment, fear of failure,
fear of failure, fear of judgment. I have
and
worked with so many people in starting a business from home. When I was in network marketing, I worked with a lot of people in starting a business from home, starting entrepreneurship, starting with mindset. And the number one thing that stops people, even within the coaching industry, is there's the fear of judgment, which happens. So, or they get a no, right? So they, with network marketing, you're reaching out and you're like, hey,
Mm.
I've got this amazing product that's helped me in so significant ways, blah, blah, blah. And they get one no and it crumbles them. The rejection is too much. They're like, no, I don't want to deal with that. I can't do this. Or it's lack of support from family. You know, I've had it. When I first started, my sisters didn't support me in my network marketing journey and it crumbled me. It was the hardest thing. It was such a thing for me because I valued that so much. My parents were doing the products, but my sisters thought I was, well, one particular was like I was trying to make money off my family. I was just trying to, and it crumbled me. I went to my coach. I was so emotional. And I was like, oh my God, this happened to me. My sister said this. And I was like, I was distraught. Thank God he was a good coach because he's like, listen, we'll bring it back. This is going to happen. This is part of the business. All right. Remember why you started.
Right. But if you look back, my sister was kind of helping you as well to go through that experience.
Yeah, she was trying to protect me.
Indirectly,
She had
not
a
saying
view.
directly.
She had a view on network marketing. She had an opinion.
Ah, right.
All network
Okay.
marketing was a scam. So she's done all the research in
And
the
now,
world on network marketing. She knows all about it. She knows all about it. She's never done it, but she knows everything about it.
oh, that's interesting.
It
That's
is
interesting. I
interesting.
mean, I would wow. Okay, never done that. I'm sure. So she hasn't rolled up her sleeves and got her hands dirty, but she knows how this
But she knew.
how the system
Yep.
works.
Yep.
Wow. Oh, that's you got a genius in your family. Sorry to
There's a
say.
lot of that in the world, though, isn't there? There is a lot of that in the world. We know a lot
There
about,
is, yes.
yeah.
And that's what I was asking you. That a lot of coaches who are saying coaches, but have they gone through life experience is the question. To coach someone,
Yeah.
would they be able to listen and give the right? Because you can't have a set of questions and go
Mm,
through them one by one because each client or each human is a case by case and they have different experience, different problems. And as a coach, are you giving the right? Are you asking the right question to get the answer out of them? Because some may not be
yeah.
comfortable. They may not be expressive enough to share those. You know what I mean? That's the
Mm,
important part of, I believe, as a coach. Now, you mentioned about fear and you had a lot of challenges. How did you overcome it? I want to hear that because someone who's listening right now, they are keen to start a side
yeah.
hustle. They got a 9 to 5 job, they have a full-time job or a full-time business. They are they are at the edge to fly, but something is stopping them. There's a fear. What if I fail? How will I feed my family? What will happen to my loans and other commitments? What do you want to tell them?
What I would say, and I've seen this before, I'll start with what not to do. Don't leave a full time gig job to go pursue a new career. If it's going to be
Mm,
coaching or something, don't give up your current income until you have built something alongside it to the point where you're comfortable enough to let go of the old.
okay.
All right. So I have watched coaches go all in on training and coaching and spend all their hours learning and skills, which is great and it's ambitious, but people don't realize how tough entrepreneurship can be in the industry. Not just within coaching, but anything.
Anything.
It takes a lot of drive, it takes a lot of consistency, a lot of time and energy to go into this. And the last thing you want is to be stressing about income. No income coming in. All right.
Mm,
Because that's what happened with this one individual coach is he got a great client in the beginning, which was great, got a paying client through the roof, right? You're like, this is easy. I can do this. We've all done it. We've all done it. I've done it. My first paying client in network marketing, I was like, I'm gonna be a millionaire by the time I'm 32. Like that was I literally said that. Because like this is so easy, money while I'm sleeping. both coaching, you get your first client, you're like, oh my God, it's a high, it's amazing, I can do this. I've got my first client. But then it drops. Not all the time, but it drops. And then you're like, okay, this is really hard. Why isn't any money coming in? Why can't I sign people up? It's really tough. Then the panic sets in. So when it comes to what was the question? What would I say to people who are looking to start a business? Be smart about it.
Correct.
Get really clear on why you're starting your business. What is the outcome you want to create in your life? What's is it impact? Is it are you want to create a legacy? Are you want to create a future with your family and your friends? Like what's the it's a lifestyle you're looking
Mm.
for, right? So I mean anything whatever it is and it matters to you, that's what you need to stay focused on. And when you have those dips, you need to remind yourself of that, of why you started.
I'm gonna give you another scenario,
Hmm.
kind of subset from this question is what if a client walks up to you and says, "Hey, Rob, I got a very toxic work culture. I can't stay there. I've tried to work it out, but it's not working out for me. Look, I have this dream to start my own business. It's stopping me, but I don't want to leave this job, but it's toxic. It's just stressing me out. What should I do?"
So we'd look at a how if they can't leave that job yet, we'll look at ways we can uh, cushion the toxicity that they're dealing with right now. How can we work with that at the moment? How can we soften that?
Hmm.
Secondly,
Okay.
let's start looking at things we can start. So, how can we make the toxicity easier in the current work environment while we explore this?
What if it's beyond help? We can't fix it. It's beyond repair.
Nothing's beyond repair.
Nothing. You reckon? Okay.
Which
Okay.
part? The
So nothing
toxicity?
beyond repair. The
Okay.
toxicity,
So,
yes.
if it's toxic to the point it's talking to management and going through those, you know, do you need to talk to HR? Like, what are some things if it's really toxic? Who can we talk to that's higher up that can resolve this problem?
Right.
All right.
Okay.
There's always solutions for those things in the workplaces. But in regards to somebody
Okay.
saying, I want to start my own business, I get so excited. That just like,
Well,
ooh, I love it. Love it. So, right away, being the entrepreneur, I'm like, let's go, let's do it. Let's investigate, let's play around, let's see what we got. And so, yeah, but I'm like, let's resolve this problem here. Let's see what we can work on here, but let's start building. Let's see what we can dance with.
all right. So parallelly, you start building your business as well. Start doing
Yeah,
the
why not?
groundwork. Is that why not?
We've all got time to research and dance around and look into things. It
Yeah.
doesn't
Why
take a
not?
lot
Yeah.
of money to start a side hustle these days.
So tell me about your business. So when you want to become
Mm,
a coach, what about the capital? Did you have any capital saved for this business, or did you had any vision like I wanted to run this business for X number of years and see
no,
where it takes me, and then and decide if I want to do something
I
else?
had some money. So I moved up to Brisbane after COVID with nearly $0 to my name and debt. So we came out of COVID. I was just back in Canada helping look after my mom just before, and I'd saved up enough money to move up here to set myself up with an apartment and all that stuff, right? Then my mom died. I had to go back to Canada and put a bunch of money into all that stuff. So when I came back, I had a friend help me out financially and help me and got me into my place here. And I still do massage, and massage was my main income for a while. And so when I started coaching, which I didn't even plan on jumping into coaching, uh, a friend's mom suggested that I go into it because of what I do on social media and all that stuff. And so I had never crossed my mind until 3 years ago. And I called the college that does life coaching, and I was just having a conversation. They said, listen, we're having a 4-day training this week. And if you want to come down, you can start taking clients right away. And so I said, just sign me up. I'll be there. I just got a new cat. I didn't have accommodation. I didn't know where I was staying, but I just jumped in and I figured it out. And so As soon as I got that 4-day training, because I get excited when I study things and I start a business, that's what I do. I came home and I messaged a few people who I knew who would be interested in coaching, and
Oh, wow.
I messaged them, and I started
And
coaching.
and and how did you get your first client? Just
Yeah,
messaging them, just asking your
yeah. Say,
network,
listen,
"Hey,
I've just started with coaching. I know that you've been through some stuff in the past. Um, I was wondering if you'd want to go through a 12-week program with me at a reduced cost. Um, and, so that's what I did. I think my first client, I think I charged him, I think it was like $800,
oh,
something.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So tell me about that. That when you started, so you got your first client just through messaging or reaching out to them through social media, and they said they
Yep.
were on board. How did you work out the fees?
Right.
Were you thinking, I need to get my first client in? This is
Yeah,
purely
yeah.
from a business perspective. Yeah, I need to get my first client in. I can just work it out on the pricing if they can't afford it. Or were you thinking, no, this is my price and this is the maximum I can go with from a discount perspective. And if they can't, I can't help them. What was running in your head when the first client was working with you?
Well, how did I come out to $800? Um, I think
Mm.
it was $800. It was around that mark. I think it
Or
was,
let's
yeah, it
assume it's
was
eight
throughout
hundred
the
dollars. And
conversations. I was obviously asking my coach, I'm like, what would be a good number to start with, starting out? And so they threw a couple numbers in my
right.
way. And then I think I negotiated with my client. I think um, because he was off work, he was a teacher, he had a medical thing happening. So, you know, I wanted to get experience under my belt, and I wanted to get some testimonials under my belt. And so that was my main goal in the beginning.
Okay. So that was the main goal. So price, the fees was secondary. Your primary goals were testimonials and
Yep.
experience.
And as
And after how many
Yep.
clients?
Yeah,
Sorry,
well, that's answering your next
no, no, you
question.
can go.
As more clients, I slowly progressed my price over the last 3 years. So it's just a slow progression. As I
So
felt more
after,
comfortable, and I was like,
okay,
um, I'd increase my price. Yeah.
right. So let's say no, no. This is the reason why I'm asking is what is the comfortable number? Is it case by case for each business, or you reckon is it a like maybe after 5 to 6 clients you can start, where your what's your capability as a coach or any business person to sell your product or sell
Yep.
your service, and then start putting the price, or what are your thoughts? What was your comfortable
I
number?
think on how much to increase. I think it depends on the individual. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, after how many clients do we increase?
How many clients? I would say 3 to 5, maybe. Yeah.
3 to 5. Okay, that I was looking for that. Okay, 3 to 5. Interesting. Okay, and also get testimonials added to
Testimonials
your
are so important.
portfolio as well. And right now,
Mm.
looking back, are you happy the way you started your business, the coaching business, or do you want to make any tweaks that you thought, okay, I wish I would have done this. It would help me to land in this state or at this position.
So you mean 2 weeks after I started my business, was I happy?
No, no,
Right
no.
now,
Right now, looking back,
100%. It is.
Right now, if you look back,
It is
three,
very
three
much.
years. It's been
Yeah,
three
it
years,
is
right?
very much aligned with who I am. I've always been in some kind of a job or an industry where I'm of service to people. It's in my blood. I love creating an impact. I love connection. Those are things that really I hold true to me. And so, I get to wake up every day and I get to create some kind of an impact in someone's life. And so when I first started my training, when I first did my training down in Melbourne, and I was doing that 4-day training through the exercises, there were things in there that reminded me of when I was in network marketing, things that I really enjoyed, which was helping people with their mindset, uh, creating entrepreneurship, starting a business from home. I loved all those things, and I'd forgotten all that. So when I was doing my training, all that got reignited, and I was like, "Ah, this is the stuff I love doing." all right? And it's entrepreneurship, it's mindset, it's impact, it's all these things. Because when I first moved up here, I was going down the horticulture path. I was going to study plants. I was going to be a landscape designer because it was post COVID, post mom passing, and I just didn't have the energy for people.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I don't want to work with people anymore. I'm good. And so that's why I was going down plants. And then the universe was like, well, we're going to give you a really expensive course so you can't afford it. So then you're going to have to go do the coaching. So, you know,
You mentioned about waking up every day. End of the day, you are a human being, Rob. We are all a human beings. Yes, you are a coach. You're a qualified coach. You try to help people come out of their tough times, but you will have your own tough times, good and bad days. How you overcome your bad
so it's
days?
interesting. I've kind of just come out of a couple bad days. Uh,
Oh, okay.
and it's like a day, I think it's when you question whether you're on the right path, whether I was good
Mm,
enough.
mm.
Uh, those thoughts, they're going to come through your mind. They come through everyone. It doesn't matter how much, study or self work you do on yourself. Those thoughts are always going to creep in.
So the imposter
100%.
syndrome dressing up as
Absolutely.
a
And it was
logic.
funny when I was and this happened yesterday, I kid you not. I was in my, poor me, mindset. And I had a client message me and just give me the most beautiful message of the impact that I've had on him. And it was just like, one of those little universe things, sending you a little
Oh,
message and
okay.
be like, hey, you're good at this. You're doing a good job. Keep going, kind of thing. And so, do I need that? No. And do I last in those moments long? No, I don't. I can pull myself out. But I also acknowledge those downtimes and I'm okay with those downtimes. And I think that's really important to understand is this journey, you are going to have days. I like to call them chocolate days. So it's like I just want to stay in bed and eat chocolate. So we're going to have chocolate days where you just don't want to get up. You're not motivated. You're not inspired. You're feeling down on yourself. I welcome those days. I'm like, cool. It's a chocolate day. Let's do it. Right. Whereas I'm like, oh,
Okay.
I'm not showing up the way I should be. I'm like, I got nothing to give today, and that's okay.
Wow. So you're saying just acknowledge those days and give
Be
yourself
okay with
a
those
bit of a
days.
rest and
100%.
recharge
We can't be
and come
100%
back.
all the time.
Come back. Just uh, perfect. You have to be. You're pretty much vulnerable in sharing your thoughts and your values, which is very uncommon to see in these days. Which is that's great. You a couple of times in this interview you
Mm.
mentioned about universe. Are you a strong believer of universe? Do you think there's something? And what are your thoughts? And how do people can connect to that? I mean, someone whoever is believing in that force.
So
What is your?
I've got a tattoo
Hmm,
right here on my arm, and what it is,
I got yeah.
it's a
I can see
mantra,
some
and
symbols.
what it means is flow, not force. And the reason I got that tattooed on me was when I got my visa mid COVID, and I was about to move up to Queensland and start my life. I had everything packed. I was ready to go. The week before, I planned to move up, and this is after 10 years of waiting for this new chapter in my life. Right. I was like, it's my
Mm,
time. I am free of the visa. I'm a permanent resident now. I'm a free man. So I'm starting my new life in Queensland. The week before I was going to move up, the borders closed. And then I also got a phone call that my mom ended up in hospital back in Canada. And so I made the choice to pack all my stuff up in storage and go back to Canada for 10 months and look after her. It was one of those moments where this mantra, flow not force, where I just had to trust that the universe had its path for me and that it wasn't my time yet. I had to go do this first. I had to go help my mom. And
mm,
then again it was, it kept me grounded because there was a few more things that just didn't go to plan. And my mindset around it is, if it doesn't happen, it's why is this happening for me, not to me? Yeah. So it keeps me grounded. It keeps me from sitting in that space of, oh, this sucks. It's not working out. And, because some people dwell, they love to dwell. This keeps me out of that. I'm like, cool. It's just not meant to be right now. Oh, I got to go this way right now, but I'll come back to this, So
Right.
it's the universe. That's my belief, is that we are all on an individual journey, and we need to trust that that journey is the journey that we're supposed to.
Is the right journey
This is part
for
of my journey.
everyone for us. Yep. To accept the journey, similar to the
Accept the
accepting
days,
chocolate
accept the
days.
journey. Just accept whatever
Accept the
comes your
journey,
way.
right? One last question before we wrap up. Someone who's listening, wanting
Mm.
to become a coach, where should they start? What should they do? Um, Feel free to share
Yeah.
your
So why do
experience.
you want to be a coach? My first question. Is it, you know, I think we've all got a story that we can share, but
Yep.
understanding what it takes to be a coach, and is it a full-time thing? Is it a part-time thing? Where should you start? There are lots of resources online where you can look for doing simple trainings. I don't even think you need a certificate to be a coach these days, but it does help. Um, where to look? Is this a promotion ad for the college I went to? Okay.
No, no. In terms, do they have to? They say, "Look, I don't have the cash. I don't have capital to invest in a college course. Can I? I'm good at understanding people. I'm good at reading people. I'm a good
Yeah.
listener. Can I become a coach without
You
qualifications? You know what I
don't
mean? I mean
technically need a qualification to be a coach. Um,
qualification, right?
but there are free resources out there, what you can do, and there are affordable
Mm,
resources, and there are payment plans with colleges. I know the college I went through, I'm still paying it off, right? So, you know,
all right.
it was a chunk of money, but I'm still paying it off, and I'm almost there. But that's the payment plans, right? And that works with a lot of people.
I said last question, but
One more
I just
question.
thought of one more question, which is about your book, Behind the
Yes.
Smile, if I'm right. That's a book about. Do you want to talk about your book? If you have your book, you can show it to the camera so
Yeah.
people.
This is
That's your book, Behind the Smile. All right.
so be,
Tell us about it.
so
What is this book
behind
about? And why should someone
so
buy it
behind the
and read it?
smile is all about the masks we wear. So I dive into 15 different masks that we use to protect ourselves, shield ourselves, keep ourselves from harm, from trauma, and all those things. And it's part memoir, part unmasking journey, and part steps to unmasking. So this is my life story. I'm very raw in it. It's very honest. It's very vulnerable. Uh, as I go through each chapter, which is a specific mask, 15 masks, 15 chapters, through each chapter, I share a bit about the mask, where they're born, like where they may have originated from, why we wear them, the pros, the cons, steps to removing the mask. But through the chapter, I give you real life scenarios of where these masks have shown up and how they play out in life.
Okay.
So, for
All right.
for an example, the first mask is the mask of tradition, where we are born into a tradition, religious,
Mm,
cultural, societal. We are born into something, and we are placed this mask. Where when you grow older, you can understand how that mask of tradition might not feel as authentic to who you are growing up. So it's like, do I need to wear this mask of tradition anymore? I don't. It's not serving me. It's creating conflict. All right. So it's a big thing in religions, or um, in LGBTQ, like children growing up in a small town country, and the tradition is husband and wife. That's the tradition, and they grow up with, like, I'm different. That traditional mask isn't working for me anymore. Right? And so it's
Mm,
understanding those. Can I take off the mask of
right.
tradition and be my authentic self?
Wow. But
Yeah.
that needs
And it's
courage, I
same.
believe,
And when you think about religion,
to do that step.
right? Same thing. There are some really strict religions out there. And it's like, this religion doesn't align with me anymore. Can I take it off and be my authentic self and live my life? Right.
And the book talks about that, how to do that. How do we move on and start being ourselves and being true to ourselves? And how
Yep.
can
So
people
people can
get this
find it
book?
on
Like
Amazon,
Amazon
Barnes
or
and Nobles. They can find it through my website as
right.
well. If they want to sign a copy.
Yep,
But
for
any
that.
online retailer that they may shop at, it will be there.
Hey, Rob, this
Thank
interview
you.
has come to an end. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful to know your experience and also your thoughts about being a good coach versus a great coach. That's I thought I was I just the question just popped up in my head. I thought of
My pleasure.
thanks for
Thanks
being
for having
honest.
me.
So thank you.